Until Dawn, an incredibly popular interactive horror game released for PS4. As someone who's played Until Dawn, I can confidently say it's in my top 10 favorite video games of all time. Now, they've officially released a movie, which me and my brother went to see in theaters. Was Until Dawn, the movie, actually good? Was it even like the game? In this video, I'll tell you everything you need to know so you can make the decision for yourself. Now, starting out, the movie follows 4 characters. Clover, her ex-boyfriend Max, her friend Nina, and Megan. And Nina's boyfriend, Abe. Now, I guess Clover's sister went missing because the plot is that they go in the woods looking for her, then they get stuck in the woods and they're going to survive until dawn, which I guess is the goal in the game, to some extent. Now, if you want an Until Dawn movie, like the title suggests, honestly, I'd look elsewhere because this isn't really that. It includes a Wendigo and someone's sister going missing, and also does include a therapist dude near the end who talks to him between segments in the game. However, sadly, this is really where the similarity ends, as the movie doesn't really focus on the game plot whatsoever, and more does its own thing where the characters are stuck in a constant time loop with 13 deaths each until they figure out how to survive. Yeah, they didn't even use the same characters. As an Until Dawn movie, it wasn't very good, but if we take a step back and look at it as just a generic horror movie, well, was it good then? I do want to point out, I don't know if this was these actors' first gig, but both me and my brother laughed at how questionable the acting was for around the first 30 minutes. They were tripping over their lines, and even though they were supposedly supposed to all be friends, it felt more like a group of 4 strangers who met each other and didn't actually want to be there. The first scenes definitely could have used a few reshoots. I don't know if they ran out of time, but yeah, it was definitely a little awkward and cringe at moments. Moving past that, however, the acting did get better slightly later in the movie, and if we look at the Until Dawn movie as just another horror movie, I actually don't think it was that bad. On this channel, we rate horror films 1 to 10 based on scare, characters IQ, monsters, acting, cinematography, and the plot. Starting with the scare factor of Until Dawn, I definitely found it creepy and unsettling. However, if you go to this movie thinking it'll be as scary as things like The Shining, you will be disappointed. It definitely was enjoyable though, so I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10, as it definitely could have been a lot worse. Now, character IQ. This is the area in which most horror movies mess up, as if you actually made the characters smart, then they wouldn't have been in this dumb freaking position in the first place.
Yes, exactly.
I always get horror movies on character smartness, as I feel making character too brain dead erases all the scare factor, since there are 4 main characters who have great IQ altogether, starting with where they lost points. Being in the woods in the first place was a terrible idea. I don't know why you didn't call the cops or something. Yeah, they lost points there. Right here, you're getting dragged for your life. It lets go of you for a second, and instead of running, you decide, let me contemplate my life choices. Yeah, and then you get snatched, because instead of running, you just stood there like a fool. Here, I guess Max is trying to be a hero because he charges out after to save her. Genius playman. They also tripped over running about 12 times throughout the movie, got angry, and started killing each other at some point. And tell me why they were trying to be vloggers. Like, I'm sorry, we died at this part, bro. Bro was holding a camera, literally filming his friends getting murdered. Like, what possessed you? I actually can't. People are being disembodied, and bro is filming it. This is definitely peak Gen Z. There were definitely other things like Megan getting possessed and everyone just watching her snap her own neck in shocked Pikachu face, but averaging them all together, I'll give them a 6. Just wasn't impressed. And the only reason they got a 6 is because, hate me all you want, but I feel like Abe is the only one who had any sort of brains in the group, so they can thank him for that. I mean, he definitely played a douchey character, but at least he was trying to save them, though I'm pretty sure he was the vlogger, so maybe not. I feel as the scariest movies are those where the viewer watching generally doesn't know how they would survive. And it's not as scary when the viewers left rolling their eyes at the main characters. Cinematography was fine, so 7 out of 10. The movie didn't look bad, definitely did look good, and had some pretty well shot scenes. Monsters, while not groundbreaking, were definitely enough for the film, so I'll give them a 7. I feel as if they were pretty average for the most part, but I did enjoy Whistling Axeman. While not necessarily unique, he was definitely creepy. There were also other creepy parts that I won't include, because I don't want to completely spoil the movie, but let's just say that one of my favorite parts did include them drinking tap water. Acting was a 4 out of 10, honestly, as I said before. This really could have used several reshots. Like, I haven't seen a movie struggle with acting like this in a hot second. And finally, the plot. Well, spoilers in 3, 2, 1. They never find the sister. I thought this was the entire point. Well, they leave her to die. So, also I was confused at several points, and the way the therapist dude died at the end felt sort of anticlimactic in my opinion. As far as I can tell, he also didn't really have a strong motive, leaving me scratching my head. I don't know, I guess his motive was that he was literally a psychopath, so I guess I'll give him a 5 here. As you can see, Until Dawn was a very average with a few bumps along the road. I will say, ever if you're a fan of the game, I would still go and see it. It's nothing like the game, but it's only an hour and a half, and I still had overall a good time. I definitely enjoyed it and would watch it again. This is the movie final rating at 59%. Not amazing, but to be completely fair, there was definitely way worse films, and you won't regret seeing this one. So, was Until Dawn bad? Well, as a movie inspired by a game, yes. The movie's sole biggest flaw here is naming themselves after a game to, I guess, get more viewers, secure a higher audience score. But I think that was this movie's biggest downfall. If they had branded it by itself as just a horror movie, I think it honestly would have done better. I mean, our theater was almost completely empty, and almost every other showing of this was also completely empty as I went and looked on the theater's page. Nobody was seeing this junk. As a movie alone though, honestly, it was worth the watch. Though the grading's not the highest on a personal level, I really enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments though, and if you're planning to go see the movie, or if you already have.